Hello.
Hello.
Welcome to the Knit Girls.
This is episode 158. I am Leslie, also known as You Don't Call Me Les.
I'm Laura, also known as Lala.
It is May something. 20th.
19th? 20th? Really?
It's the 20th. Oh crap, I missed Alicia's birthday. So
I did too.
I'll be sending her a note in a minute. So hi, welcome. We're recording a day late because I got some kind of weird stomach bug this weekend and spent most of yesterday sleeping. And let's see. We don't really have anything to chatter about. Why don't you? You talk for a while.
I would love to go. I'm knitting on some Curvy Wurvy socks in the Groovy Baby colorway. That's her logo, and the base is soft and squishy.
And her name is not Leslie.
No, but you know whose name is Leslie, the host of the Knitting Game podcast.
The host of the Knitting Game podcast?
Huh. Game. G-A-M-E.
Huh.
Who I met at Maryland Sheep'n Wool. See?
Yeah.
All the things I know.
Justify.
Really, someone told me. I can't remember the person's name who told me either. Welcome to my life. Anyway, it's in the soft and squishy base. And the first one is done. And I started the second one, so there's the first one.
This is very
These are on my loopy sock blockers. I know, they're very mystery machine, aren't they?
Yeah.
I love them. And here's the second one, so it's just started. And so I'm working on those as we knit, and those are in my sushi bag from Tangerine Designs, which has shrimps.
Yes.
Then my friend Amy has the same bag.
Yes, she does. She loves her some orange, and it has lots of orange. She loves sushi too.
She does. I'm also working on the Antler cardigan by Tin Can Knits, and I'm alternating every other row. I was alternating every other row, and then I switched to every 2 rows because really every other was kind of silly. And this is the sleeve, the first sleeve. So I got a little bit on that done, not a huge amount.
And you're using teeny tiny needles.
No, I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
Oh, you mean the circumference?
Yes,
of
the
them,
circumference, not the diameter of the needle itself. The circumference.
I was gonna say because these are like size 8s. Those are.
I mean, like the length. They're like what, 9 inches long or something ridiculous.
12. And actually, in a couple more increase rounds, I'll switch over to 16s.
But the shaft of them is very short, right?
Yes, it's like.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Like
my
pinky is cramping just thinking about that.
I like my 12 inches.
And a lot of people do. Like, I just first like the way that I knit. I hold with the back couple of fingers, like my ring finger and pinky. Is how I hold it. So.
Anyway. So I've started the first sleeve, and I hope to get that done sometime soon. But it's not like, it's pretty low on the priority list. The whole body is done. I'll show you all that. And I'm knitting it on 6s and 8s, which is why I gave Leslie a weird face when she said the needle size is small. Because I was like, 8s are not small. 8s are decent size. They're actually kind of big for what I typically do. So, and this is out of Madeline Tosh in the Rainwater colorway. And I have 2 skeins for the sleeves, and then these 2 skeins left. And that's about it.
And Antler has some cabling up top, right?
It does. Okay. It has a little bit of cabling up here. I just felt like showing right here. I'm being silly today. What else am I working on? Oh, I'm working on some toddler socks. Where are they? I didn't put them. Oh, they're over here. So I'm teaching a class at Vicksburg Fiber Festival in 2 weeks. And the class is on toe-up socks with afterthought heels. So it's hard to get through a whole sock in a 3-hour period of time. So we're doing toddler socks out of DK weight. And I'm actually timing myself on this one, on the second one, to see how long it takes me. Because I figure if it takes me like an hour, then 3 hours for class is a good amount of time. But if it takes me like 2.5 hours,
you need to revisit this plan. Yeah.
Yeah. They might be very short ankle socks. But anyway, they are out of Marigold Jen's Yoshi colorway in her DK weight. And so the first one is done except for the heel. And these are going to go to Alice. They're 1-year-old sized. So they're going to go hang out with her when they're done and the class is taught. So, and I'm writing up the pattern for this, and it'll be a free pattern at some point. But that's how they look in the skein. And there's the second one.
Pretty
and I
colors.
knit this whole one during, I think, a period of hockey last night, so but I want to time and double check. The Penguins tied last night. Who Penguins?
They're hockey. Okay.
They are hockey. The Senators, who are also hockey, scored on them with like 20 seconds left in the game and tied it 1-1. Made me sad.
And who?
Anyway, that's it for me on the needles right now. That is active, I think. Yes. That's all. Just near me.
That's near you. I really only have one thing right now that's active. And that is this. And it's actually a little too big to show you. It's a square shawl that I'm just designing as I go, and I'm using Unwind Company yarn in the Stop and Smell the Poppies in this sort of orangey red color.
What base is that?
It's the sparkly one. I don't know what it's called.
Okay.
Shiny Sock or something, maybe?
No, Shiny Sock is another crafty girl. It's her silk base.
Okay, well this is merino nylon in Stellina, or the gold version of Stellina.
Okay.
Anyway, it's Unwind Yarn Company.
Is it Twinkle Sock, maybe?
Twinkle, maybe. Yeah, maybe that's it. I'm sorry,
that
I'm terrible
with base names. That might be another crafty girl, too. I'll look it up while you keep talking.
And I'm using size 6, and I had knit this before, but it had a little bit of a nipple in the middle because I didn't increase correctly. But I started over and increased at a different rate, and it is flat now in the middle. And I'm up to about 1,000,000 stitches. I'm probably really closer to like 200 stitches, maybe a little bit more than that. And I'm just going to keep going for a while until I think it's close to being big enough before I start doing any edging, because this will be a square shawl with 2 colors on the edge. And the colors are put away. By put away, I mean they're not right beside me.
It is Twinkle Sock.
Twinkle Sock, okay. And I'm going to have sort of a royal blue aqua-ish color and yellowy gold color with this. And I figured out how I want to do the color work, so hopefully I'll have at least one part of it done next week, because I'm working on this pretty exclusively, and it's stockinette around, so it's going pretty fast. But
cool.
Yep, and then I also swatched for Caulfield, which is an Amy Herzog sweater. I'm pulling it up, and it looks like that. And I'm replacing here on the edge. It's got like sort of this section rolls because it's stockinette, and I didn't want it to do that, so I am replacing that with this edge from the, let's see, what is it called? Draper vest or cardigan. And I like the sort of long flaps on this one in the front, so I'm putting those long flaps on my Caulfield.
Cool.
And I'm using...
You're creating a Franken sweater.
I am. But it's by they're both by the same designer, so it's okay. I am using Sparrow, which is by Quince & Company, and it is 100% linen.
Oh, wow.
Organic linen. And it doesn't have like cool names of colorways, it's just color 202. And I wound that on a Nostra pin.
That's pretty.
It's like an ice blue
Why did you want it on your Nosta pin? I'm just
because
curious.
I was upstairs and my winding
Oh.
station is downstairs, and I didn't feel like it because I wasn't that lazy. Well, I was watching
because
something,
the Nosta
and
pin is. Yeah.
I was like, I'll just do it here. And it was only 168 yards, so it wasn't like, a 400-yard scheme. And so
Okay.
the call field says to use a size, she used a size 4. To get gauge, I typically go up at least 1 needle size. And for some reason, my brain switched that around and said, you need to go down a needle size. So I swatched on a 3 and a 4 because I knew that I'll never get gauge the first time, ever. So I swatched on a 3, which was not surprisingly too small. And then I swatched on a 4. And after it's already had its bath and it already has softened, the 4, I got perfect stitch gauge, but my row gauge was off by ½ an inch over 4 inches. So I'll just do the math to make up the difference. And really the only thing I have to be concerned about is around the arm side. It's in the length, I'll just measure the length until I like it.
Yeah.
Because I'm probably never going to get row and stitch gauge. And I'm okay with doing that ½ inch over 4 inches worth of math. So I'm going to knit the call field out of this sparrow, which is very nice to work with. I will say that it is splitty to knit with because it's linen and it's just 4 plies, I think, twisted together. But the results are very worth it because linen softens. The more you wear it and wash it, it softens and gets softer and softer. And
it'll be a great piece.
I want something I can actually wear at SSK, and it's very hot at SSK, so I'm hoping that this will work.
Cool.
And also, there's a very sweet lady who gifted me a pattern. I met Nutmeg Knits at the Hidden River Yarns shop that I went to in Philly, and she had this gorgeous sweater on, and it was called Neon by Joji Locatelli.
Yeah.
And it's very sort of open mesh, but it's top down, set in contiguous sleeves. And I wanted to try that anyway, and I just hers looked wonderful on her, and I kept telling her how wonderful it looked. And so when I got home, I saw that she had gifted it to me, which was very sweet.
That's sweet.
Yeah, and I had
really sweet.
a really great time, talking to her. And so I'm going to try to knit that before SSK as well, because I'm a glutton for punishment. But
a lot of sweaters.
I'm going to start this one this week, and then we'll see from there.
Excuse me.
I feel like I've been talking for a year, so it's your turn.
Okay, I finished an object.
Yay.
I know, I'm excited. I had knit the Walking in Memphis hat. I designed that and knit it while I was at Leslie's for my birthday, and it looks like this. Y'all have to kind of excuse the fact that my hair is up. But it's like this, and it's got an I-cord edge right here, and then some garter stitch, and then a stitch pattern, and it's just a nice slouchy hat, great for travel. And like, where did all my earbuds go now that I've ripped them out with this hat? Anyway, I'm just gonna let it go. I'll find it in a second. I wanted to not only offer it as a 3 pattern repeat, so you can see up close the stitch detail. So that's 3 repeats of the stitch pattern. I wanted to do a 5 repeat too, and I'm also offering it in 3 sizes. So I wanted to knit the largest size to make sure that my yardage amount was correct. So this is the largest size with 5 repeats. And it is out of Cakewalk Yarns.
Love me some Cakewalk.
In the Portland colorway.
Yes.
In her Lush base, which is Aran. It's a superwash merino cashmere nylon. So it's nice and soft. And so this is the largest size, and it's kind of slouchy on me. It's a little bit big, but if I had dreads, it would be totally perfect.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like, and I'm really, really loving it. And now I've popped out both of your
Oh crap, my phone's ringing, I'm sorry.
You could be saying all kinds of horrible things about me.
You missed my phone ringing. So I forgot to put it on silent because I'm a bad podcaster, I'm sorry.
I have no idea.
So that's cool. So it's clipped on your thing. It's attached magnetically to the end of it, babe.
Oh, it is. How does it do that?
It's magnetic.
I just lost it again. I've never noticed that before. That's so clever. Anyway, so I finished a second Walking in Memphis hat, and I'm gonna have this test knit, and I hope to get it out around June 1st.
Cool.
So, the pattern's all written up. I just want to double check it, and you can see the size difference between the two. So this is Unwind Company, and this is Cakewalk, and they were both lots of fun to knit with. I'm really excited.
I think that would be a good pattern for variegated yarn like you've used.
Oh, yes. And that one skein of Aran that you pick up like on a whim.
Mm-hmm.
And it was great plain knitting. And then I watched all of Warehouse 13's last season. So.
I can't say anything. I worked my way through all of this season's Call the Midwives that were up. I love that freaking show. Chummy is my favorite character ever.
I love Chummy. Anyway, do you have any finished objects?
I do. It's a weaving finished object, but it counts. Okay, so also the socks are finished. They were finished Sunday night, and I mailed them off to Sadie. Crap. Sorry. I mailed them off to Sadie, who got them and sent me pictures, and so I'll put the pictures in here. So they fit, and she's going to be wearing them at her wedding next weekend in Las Vegas.
Fun.
So it'll be Memorial Day weekend. She turns 30 and she gets married all on the same day in Vegas.
Wow.
That girl knows how to
That'll
party.
be epic.
So I'm stoked. And I'm happy they fit, because knitting knee highs for somebody else is a little bit nerve-wracking.
I agree.
But luckily she
Especially
and I
for their wedding, where if you mess it up, there's some repercussions.
So luckily she and I have a similar measurement, so I was able to make it work. But anyhow, so I decided this week I wanted to try houndstooth, because our friend Lynn has knit or woven several houndstooth scarves this year.
Uh-huh.
And I was a little bit intimidated because it's like color work, but really it's not hard at all on the loom. It's not. The hardest part is warping it. And so I used...
That is awesome.
The white is Cascade 220, and the green is... I just had the tag. It's Sun Valley Fibers, and it is the forest colorway of their merino cashmere nylon worsted.
Wow.
And I really enjoyed this. This was super easy to do, and I did it with a fixed or rigid heddle loom. I did it on my Cricut, which is 15 inches, but you could do this on the 10 inch because I think it's only maybe 7 or 8 inches wide.
Yeah.
And it does not require anything fancy. You just warp it with 2 threads, alternate 2 other colors, and then when you weave, you do 2 passes of one, 2 passes of another. It's not difficult at all.
Interesting.
I did not really take the time to do finishing, which I will for the next one. But I did do hem stitching on this one, which is a little bit neater and cleaner than on this side. I just kind of gathered them together and knotted them. So it makes a difference. But I took it off the loom before I did any of that work, so that's probably why.
Yeah.
I have some, and this was really easy. I probably could have done it all in one day, but I would have, my shoulders would have been sore. But it probably took me 4 to 6 hours total from warping to cutting it off the loom. So cool. It did not take very long.
It'd be great for last minute Christmas presents.
Yeah, it really would. And
that would be an awesome baby blanket too if you had a larger loom.
Yeah,
or you could do 2 and sew them together.
Yeah, you could stitch them together. That's what I showed this to Michael actually, and he was like, "Oh, you could make us a blanket." And I was like, "How did you make that leap? Because that's never going to happen." But yeah,
you could do different colors and strips. That'd be so cool.
I could, but I'm not going to.
Oh.
Because my dog and my cats and my son sleep on my bed sometimes, and so it's just not. If it was to be pretty and admired, that would be one thing. But anyway, I had a lot of fun with this, and I can definitely see myself doing houndstooth again. I don't have much interest in doing really super intricate weaving. This may be as complex as I ever get, and that's okay with me.
It's really pretty.
Thank you. I have another project on the loom right now, but I did not feel like dragging it down here. And it's, I warped it with one skein of Noro Ayatori, which is cotton and silk, and I'm weaving with another, which probably wasn't the best decision because the colors are a little too crazy. But y'all, I'll show y'all next week because I'll probably finish it this week.
Cool.
So that's my weaving. I have no spinning at all.
I have some spinning, actually.
Because you are a good podcaster.
I taught a drop spindle class this weekend. Ooh. And I've actually finished the, I'll show you. It's a center pull ball off of my Turkish spindle.
Oh, is that the gourmet stash?
Uh-huh.
Cool.
And I looked at the difference between Rologs and Poonies, and these are actually Poonies. Poonies typically refer to cotton or short staple fibers, and when you roll them off the, when you go, like, I was using, when I rolled my faux Rologs that I made, I was using like a pencil to roll them around. You roll them real tight when you do Poonies, so there's less air going into them. So that's the main difference between Poonies and Rologs, and I'm actually applying it with some yarn that I had spun last year at Middle Tennessee on a supported spindle. So it keeps breaking because this has very little twist in it because it's been sitting on a spindle for over a year, and it probably wasn't the best spun ever because I was just learning how to spin on a supported. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. But you can see how it's plying.
Yeah, it's heathering
up a little bit. Yeah, because it's, you know, green on one and the white on the other. So I'll get around an ounce altogether and we'll see yardage wise what happens that way. So I'm really enjoying it. It's kind of fun, and I'm really enjoying that center pull ball off the Jenkins was just like, oh, to me it was very, very cool. Yeah. So I can't wait. I have my hedgehog shipped. So
I can't wait for you to have your hedgehog.
I'm very excited about my hedgehogs. So I've been working on that. I worked a little bit on, speaking of hedgehogs, on my Jerry Brock. Not a whole lot. This is my penguins. And so I spent a little bit on there, and that's in my knotted bag, spinning bag, which works perfectly actually for this. And then I also spun on my sidekick. I finished the first, I had more on one bobbin than the other, so I have to go back and, you know, ply a little bit more. But I finished the first bit of my 2-ply out of Huckleberry Knits in the Seek No Further colorway. And it's around a DK weight, and it's 230 yards, and it's already been washed and waxed. So, looks like that.
Very pretty.
And I'm thinking it'll be around 250 when I ply the other bit together. It did bounce up a little bit, so I'm going to have to remeasure it to see what it's really like now. And this was not Polworth. It's an island. Falkland. So, this was Falkland. Do you like how I think of
As long as you come up with it in the end, honey. However you get there is fine.
Anyway, so this is Falkland, and I'll ply that other little bit and send it on its way to the prize winner who won that earlier in April. So that's it for me for spinning. We have a book review. We have Topsy Turvy Inside Out Knit Toys by Susan B. Anderson.
So, disclaimer, both of us know Susan and adore her. And this is like her 5th or 6th book? Or is it further along than that?
It's this, Spud and Chloe at the Farm, the baby hats, the baby nursery, and then there's one more that I'm missing.
The toys, itty bitty toys. So this is her 5th book.
Itty bitty toys. So 5th.
Yes. And she's also teaching at our retreat this summer.
She is.
So, Susan is very inspirational, and the pictures in this are great. And I do love, like Laura's showing you now, this visual index, but not only is it a visual index, it shows you that on the second project, you're going to learn how to whip stitch parts together, which you didn't need to know for the first one. On the fourth one, you're going to learn how to do duplicate stitch, which you didn't need to know for any of the previous projects. So it breaks it down by skill level, which project you're going to, you know, which project is the easiest, and then it goes from there.
Okay, so it starts with the easiest, and then it builds on from there. The first project, which I really like, is the Happy Mouse Sad Mouse, and I think I might make one of these for Julia for her birthday, even though my sister-in-law said no more toys.
It's okay.
Maybe I'll make one for me.
From Auntie.
So on one side, it is happy, and then you kind of
roll
flip it around, and the ears become the feet, and then it's sad.
Yep.
So I think that's very cool. And actually, one of the Harry Potter House Cup prompts this month is something that turns into something else.
There you go.
So that seems to fit perfect. And that uses Balance by Owl. It's an organic merino, organic cotton blend. But what I really like about this is you can use up this book in general. You can use up a lot of little scraps that you have laying around your house because these are fairly small toys. She also tells you on each toy the finished measurements. So not including the ears, Happy Mouse, Sad Mouse is 4 inches tall. So that's the perfect size.
Assuming you get gauge, which really doesn't matter on a toy. Just be aware.
Yeah, you just want your toys to be knit kind of dense.
Right.
I also want to point out that Susan does some great tutorials throughout this book, including how to knit in small diameters, but some great photo tutorials that are spread out throughout the book.
I like the penguin in the egg. So he's a penguin, you stuff him inside of himself, he becomes an egg. And again, like Laura mentioned, I really appreciate the step-by-step with the toys of how to assemble them. Because in my experience, that can be the most challenging part of knitting a toy, is getting it put together and feeling like it looks right, you know, like the arm's not wonky or you know, whatever. So I appreciate these very detailed photographs.
I also like the fact that she shows you exactly what you have to do to change the toy from one to another. Because I'm kind of clueless 90% of the time. I know that's a shocker to most of you as I confuse your names and mix you up with other people.
Yeah.
Kiki and
create a whole new identity for these people, yeah.
But I like the Egg to Alligator, and actually Julia just got a great book that I bought her by Mo Willems called Amanda's Alligator. And I think that would be super cute to go along with it. That's the cool thing about this book is you could get an actual kid's book for birthday and then make something to go with it.
I like the little flower in a tulip. Flower fairy in a tulip, I'm sorry. So there's a tiny little fairy hidden inside the tulip. Let me show you a good picture of that. Here. When you fold the petals up, the fairy is hidden. And it's got this little curly Q thing on the bottom that Susan says that you could, and it's reinforced, and you could wind it around her little finger, you could hang it somewhere special in her room. She really thinks through.
You could do a whole mobile out of them if you wanted.
You could. That's a good idea.
I like the bunny and lamb. This would be like the perfect thing for Easter. I also like, there's pictures in this book of kids playing with every single toy, which is very cool in my mind as well. But for Easter, that would be a super cute present. And
to expound on that further, again, with how to embroider the eyes to make them look like hers look. It's step by step with photographs of exactly where to secure the yarn, what kind of stitch to do to make it look exactly the way that hers look. And I think that's an excellent addition.
The snowman and tree for Christmas, super cute.
Yeah.
And I really like the fact that the tree's got that garland stitch detail. Is very, very cute.
Yeah.
And I do like the fact that these don't use safety eyes, that they're very, especially young kid friendly.
Yeah, with the embroidery instead of the safety eyes.
And not a huge, like, not a lot of little pieces. Like, it would be hard for a child to pull off, really, a whole lot on there.
So, kind of
and
the
devour
crowning
it.
achievement in this book, I think, for Susan is the final project, which is the top-down seamless petticoat dolls. And it's 2 dolls in one, and it's seamless. Ah. And, you know, the dolls are very highly customizable, but it shows you here how they flip. And I know that Diane is knitting one of these.
From Knittables.
Yes, Knittables. I'm sorry.
And they're 10 inches tall.
And the skirt has some very cute Fair Isle detail on one of the girls. She shows you everything from how to attach the hair to how to Kitchener the dolls together. I mean, she really takes every detail into account and makes sure that if you know how to knit, you can make these dolls. And she shows you variations. There's one with a striped skirt. I don't know.
It would be fun to do like an Alphaba and Glinda doll. Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun.
You could do the one with the green face, like the color of the skin green, and the other
Somebody
one.
should make
That'd
that
be fun
for you, because I'm not going to.
I tried to convince. There's a new parasol pattern on Ravelry, and I really tried hard to get it. And it's like 2,000 yards of length. Wait, but dude, how cool would it be to have a hand knit parasol?
Yeah.
I'm totally off task, but still.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. So anyhow, this is a great book, especially if you like to knit toys or things for children. It retails for $17.95, and it's by Artisan Books.
And it's got, let me count patterns real fast. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12.
12. I thought it said 10. Okay. So, well, and really 24 if you count the doubles.
And look, you can pull, it's got a pull tab front.
And there goes Laura's night. So, anyhow, we wanted to thank Susan and her publishers for sending us this book for review. And I know for sure there's a couple of items in here I want to make at some point. Probably not right this minute, but at some point I want to knit some. Maybe for Christmas. Like you said, the little snowman to tree I think would be a great little Christmas toy.
Oh, yeah.
So,
or start knitting them for Stash Dash and putting them aside for holidays.
That'd be good. Always thinking ahead, that Laura.
I have to do 90% of my knitting when I'm off. So,
that's erroneous, because you actually do not get as much knitting done as you would like to on your
time. That's always true. I'm like everyone else. I always have a pile of things that I would like to knit. My queue never goes down.
Well, yeah, but your queue is 4 digits long at this point.
I don't think it is. I think you're making that up.
Okay.
But I will be happy to look and see.
I'm pretty sure it's over 1,000.
No, it's 897.
You must have culled it recently then.
I called it like 6 months ago.
I think I'm at 300, maybe fewer than that.
Hush your mouth.
But I go through like once a month, and I'm like, why did I queue? I'm convinced that Laura or somebody logs into my account and randomly queues things, because there are some things that are so far outside the realm of things I would queue that I just cannot.
I did do that once, but it's been a while, like a couple of years. I will admit to that. You shouldn't leave your computer open while I'm at your house.
This is true. I do that to people at work. If they walk away from their computer, I'll just I won't do anything bad. I'll just pull up Notepad and I'll be like, I could have done something bad. You should lock your computer.
Aww.
But anyhow, so, favorite things?
Favorite things? I got a crap ton of yarn this week. A lot of it was pre-orders or things that I had ordered in the past, or just random gifts. So that was very exciting to me. I want to show you the first thing because I really want to spend some time on this. So when I went to IRA, I got to meet Mo Willems. And by meet, I mean I listened to him speak, and then I waited in a 2-hour long line for him to sign some books for me. And I got a book signed for my friend Becca. And she, as a thank you for getting Nick an autographed copy of the new Pigeon book, had Ponky of Another Crafty Girl dye me a custom skein, and it's based on Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus, which is an awesome book. And if you have kids that are in the picture book stages, I highly, highly recommend that book. It's probably, and I read it to my middle schoolers every year because, hello, it's just like them. So the pigeon's not allowed to drive the bus. The bus driver's got to go off and do something, and he tells the kids before he leaves, hey, don't let the pigeon drive the bus. And the pigeon's like, I thought he'd never leave. Can I drive the bus? And then you're like, no, dude, you can't drive the bus. And he's like, your mom would let me drive the bus. Totally, your mom would let me drive the bus. And it's just, you know, that's not the first thing that he says, but it's like, my cousin Herb drives the bus every day. True story. So she had Ponky dye me a custom colorway as a thank you called, hey, can I drive up the bus? And I did ask her Ponky if it was a repeatable colorway, because I know y'all love repeated, like if you can get stuff that I show on the show as well. So it is, and it's got the tans of the bus driver's face, and the blue of the pigeon, and the white of the background, and the black of the bus, the wheels on the bus. So it's just so special to me. Yeah. It actually sat in my car for like a week. I've had it for probably 2.5 weeks, and every time like I leave school, I just pet it a little, and it's my special present. Like, that is probably one of the sweetest things someone's ever done for me.
That's very
so it was
personalized.
Extra special. So, yes, and it just makes me think of Becca. So it's just really, really sweet. So I wanted to share that with y'all. It's my, hey, can I drive the bus colorway? And that's a great book. Don't Let the Pigeon Drive the Bus by Mo Willems. So that was the first thing that I got that was kind of a surprise. And then, should I continue, or
go ahead.
Do you want to split up my
little I'm enjoying watching
pigginess?
the pretties. I haven't seen any of this.
So, kind of in the pop culture vein, because apparently everything I bought was pop culture. A few weeks ago, Arlene, I think it was Arlene.
AML Stitcher?
Yes.
That's Arlene.
Had posted in the Pimp Yourself thread, which I happen to read a lot.
Every time there's a new post, I'm like, ooh, what is it?
What can it be? I get so excited. She had posted that Fresh from the Cauldron was doing custom dyes for people. And I've kind of heard of her in the back of my mind for a long time. And I know Arlene really, really likes her yarn. And so I was interested in trying some of her yarn. She's one of those people that sells out pretty quick, and I've never been able to get her yarn, and I haven't been able to really grab it on a D-stash. So when she said that you could custom order, I did a double custom order from her. And the first one is How About a Snack, and it's Scooby-Doo based. And it's on her Skudik sock base, which is 460 yards of a fingering weight, 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. It just makes me happy. It's like a very Halloween-y type colorway,
yeah,
I kind of feel like. And it's very, very cool. So this is going to become some socks for me. I'm super excited. And it's a variegated. I'm thinking I might do some monkeys out of it.
That'd be fun.
I think that would be super fun. And then she does self-striping. So I wanted to try her self-striping because it's a base that she just uses just for self-striping. And this is called Happy Happy Joy Joy, which is a Ren and Stimpy reference. And you have no idea how hard it was for me just to pick 2 colors, because her stuff is really, really pretty.
It's cool.
But it's 400 yards of a superwash merino fingering weight. And it's self-striping. And there's her card. And I think she's still doing custom colorways. So if you're interested, I would get in touch with her. She's got a group on Ravelry, and that's how she does her custom orders. All the details are there, and I'll try to link that in the show notes. And then the last thing that I bought that arrived on my doorstep is I've been wanting to try Yarn vs. Zombies for a while. I had knit some of her yarn for Mel's
Sock the Boat.
Sock the Boat. And I wanted to try some of her self-striping. And this is self-striping. It is in the Bite Me base of Yarn vs. Zombies. And It is 75% superwash VFL, 25% nylon, which is a great blend. I love that blend a lot. It's 464 yards, and it is Penny, Amy, and Bernadette from Big Bang.
I'm behind on Big Bang,
Theory.
so I know who Penny is. I know who Amy is. I have no idea who Bernadette
Bernadette's
is.
the has married Harold. Is it Harold? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The other geeky Jewish guy.
Okay.
Anyway, that's his wife.
Okay.
She came in, I think, 2 seasons ago.
All right. Okay.
There are people now screaming at the screen, telling me what season she came on. It's one of those shows that I like, but I'm kind of like, I'll catch a couple episodes. It's not one that I have to see.
I've seen the first 4 seasons, but then that's all I had, so I haven't seen
I really
else.
like the first couple of seasons, and I kind of lost my swing in it. But I just really like this color combination. I'm a huge gray fan, in case y'all didn't know.
Every sweater you've ever knit is some variation of gray.
Maybe. And so, it's that pretty gray with a pink and then a yellow, which is a different color combination for me. I might have a few skeins of stripy yarn, and when I get stripy yarn from now on, I try to find stuff that I don't already have, color-wise. And I have a lot of blues and greens and purples. I know that's a shocker to you. But like these 2 colors, not a whole lot of those in my stash. So, and that peach especially, I don't have a whole lot of that like skin tone at all. So those were my 4 new pretties that came to the house this week, which is insane. But I'm going to knit a lot this summer. Stash Dash is coming. This is like 2,000 yards almost right here.
It is, but you have to finish that plus twice as much again.
We'll see.
Because that's Laura's thing. I make no reservations about attempting to finish Stash Dash. I never have. I will play along, and if I do it, I do it. And I think it's a great idea. People love it. I don't put that many restrictions on myself. I try not to. And then I sign up to knit wedding socks and leave myself a week to do it. So, I also was a little bit of a wool pig this week.
You're gonna say I'm a wool pig and you get like 1 thing.
No, that's not true. So one is a club, and it is the second of 3 shipments in the Trifecta of Awesome Club.
Oh, okay.
3 or 4? I think it's around 4. And this is the Fiber Nymph.
Ooh, pretty.
Shipment, and this is 100% Falkland, 4 ounces, and it's called Coffee at Luke's, which is a reference to Gilmore Girls, which I've never seen.
Yes. But, oh my gosh, we are totally having a Gilmore Girls marathon this summer.
Okay.
I have them all on DVD. How have you not seen that show?
I think they're all on Netflix.
I don't care. I have them on DVD.
Anyway, so this is Coffee at Luke's, which I guess is where they hang out a lot when they're solving their problems.
No. We are watching this show this summer.
Apparently, I am Gilmore ignorant. I'm sorry. But anyway, so this was my first thing, and this was a shipment from her, and I think the only one I've got left is Keegan Lane. So that was the second of 3 shipments, and then, oh, no, that is not what I was looking for. Oh, here it is. So when we talked to Cherie at Maryland Sheep and Wool, and she's the Kirby Werby lady.
Her name is not Leslie.
No, it is Cherie. She was knitting on this yarn. It was a new colorway, and let me first say, that's effing brilliant to be knitting on this new colorway, and everybody's like, oh, what is that? I want some. Brilliant, because I was like, sign me up. I want some in this color and this color. So she was knitting on this one, and this one is called Unicorn Tail.
I like that one.
And so it's got a wide stripe of white and then an equal size stripe of the different colors. And I was like, and this is the one that she was knitting on, and I was like, oh, I want that. That's pretty. But could you also do it for me in black?
You got it in black?
I did. And this one was, she billed me for this one because I asked her to. And then a sweet friend who requested not to be named paid for the black one without me asking her to. And so this one is called Wild Child Fairy. And these are both on her sparkle base, which is 450 yards.
I'm going to have to get that black one. That is really pretty.
Isn't it? I love it. And
I'm kind of hating that you have it first.
I really, really like it. And I wanted to wind them into cakes and then crank out tubes on the circular sock machine. And then I would just go back and do Afterthought heels and toes. But I didn't have time. So maybe I'll get around to doing that this week. Because I want to wear them now. I don't want to have to wait to knit them. I want to wear them now. So
cool.
I'm super excited about this. And her base is so soft and fluffy. It's going to wear well. I can already tell. But
it's so fluffy.
So fluffy I could die. But yeah, so this is Kirby Werby. And her shop is kirbywerbyyarns.etsy.com. And that is not focused. There we go.
There you go.
And her name is Cherie, not Leslie. And she's super nice. So
she is.
You can always PM her if you want a custom order. I don't know if she's doing custom orders, but you can PM her and ask. But yeah, so this is my unicorn tail, and this is Wild Child Fairy. And they're mine.
Fun.
And I also have a friend of mine who can't spin real well anymore and asked me to spin and ply these two together. And it's going to be so crazy and awesome that I wanted to show y'all first because I'm going to start on it this week. So this is Knitting in Color, and this one is Fraptious Day, and it is merino.
I like that one.
I think I've spun this one.
I think I'm going to get that one at SSK.
I think I've spun this color before. I've spun Fraptious Day from somebody. I think it was Knitting in Color. But anyway, but mine had a little bit more orange in it, that particular one. So spin this and then ply it with this. And this is also Knitting in Color, and it is Buzzkill, and this is a merino silk blend.
Oh wow, that's going to be so bright.
It's going to be crazy. And I can't wait.
I think it's going to be awesome.
So spin each as a single and then ply them together. So that'll be... Trying to fit it all in one bobbin is going to be interesting. But I can always make it work.
I bet you can fit it on your mini spinner bobbin.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what I was going to use too. I guess I could do that and then ply it on the bulky flyer.
Do you not have 3 bobbins for the mini spinner?
I do. I guess I could do that. Stop being so logical. Let's see. I think that's all the stuff. We have an SSK announcement that you don't have to be an attendee to be interested in. We're going to save that for the very end. And then, but first we wanted to talk about the giveaway that we're doing. First,
we have 2 giveaways. Do we want to poll for the Patty Waters giveaway first?
Let's do that. So
and then we'll talk about next time. And then we'll talk about, is there anything that you wanted to say about the sweater Cal first?
No.
Because it's on the list of show
notes.
It
was from last week. I copied and pasted.
Well, I just want to say with the sweater Cal that it is going awesome, and I'm loving.
We already have 5 people with finished sweaters.
I know, it's amazing.
Stop having so much time to knit, people. You're making us look bad. But they look great. The sweaters that are done.
Oh, there's some, and some of them are just. I'm totally pulling it up right now. Oh, that's the Show Your Swatch. I am going to pull for the Show Your Swatch, but I'm just going to post the winners in there.
Because there's chatter in there, and we don't want to have to waste a bunch of time on air.
Oh, that orange peasy is amazing.
I know, and isn't she cute?
And there's a featherweight. Someone finished a featherweight?
Seriously.
And that Sandy's really pretty. And then Fifikins is freaking adorable.
I have
and her
that
name
thing
is not
about the Lighthouse Keeper's Wife. That's in my queue, and I own it. I just haven't knit it yet. But yeah. That's so cool. Anyway, for the
Patty Waters,
it's between 2 and what?
104.
Right. So, and this was to choose your favorite Patty Waters pattern, and you could
you win an ebook.
Yes. So I have not pushed the button yet. I need to go back to Skype so I can see what y'all are seeing. So I haven't pushed the button yet. I'll push the button. And it says the result is 34.
So that's on page 2. And that is Twinny Mama. So, Twinnie Mama, who likes the Alice socks, please, and I'm curious as to what your Rabbitaar pattern is, and she's from Austria.
Cool.
Just send me a PM, and I will get you in touch with the wonderful Patty,
Yes.
who is still doing a 15% off code to all her patterns using the code KnitGirls.
With 3 L's.
With 3 L's. On Ravelry.
Yep.
And then for Stash Dash is starting. I do want to clarify that once Stash enters your house, it is Stash. So once yarn comes through your door of your home, it is part of your stash and you can use it. Even if you order new things.
Okay.
Once it enters your proximity, it belongs to
So,
you.
as a quick
and it becomes
sort
stash.
of rundown of what Stash Dash is, it is basically Laura's motivation every year to knit a ton of stuff during the summer and get a bunch of stuff done.
It's the 4th year in a row. 4.
Yes, and so this year we're doing a 5K, or is it a 4K?
No, 4K.
So it's 4,375 yards of yarn, and you can craft that yarn in pretty much any way that you can think of. You can knit it, you can crochet it, you can weave it. If you spin fiber into yarn, then you count that yardage, plus if you knit it, you count that yardage again, because you are both creating and knitting or crocheting or whatever with it. So you get to count it twice. You can knit a bunch of stuff and get it close to the end and wait until Stash Dash starts, and then as soon as you finish it, that whole yardage
Which
counts.
is next Thursday.
Yes.
Yep.
If you've got
If
any
you're doing
lingering
little
projects,
squares,
you can wait until Stash Dash starts, and then if you finish that project, the entire yardage of the project counts. So it's very cheatable.
If you're doing like a blanket, like the little hexapuffs, and you want to count each hexapuff, that's fine, because you think you'll never finish the whole entire thing by the end. You can count the individual hexapuffs.
It's
trying to think what else.
Any way that you can use that yarn that relates to a craft, and if you have any questions, please PM Laura or myself. But you do have to be willing to post pictures of your finished objects, so we can, so we know you're not totally. I mean, we're not going to say that featherweight takes 1,800 yards, not 1,600 yards. I mean, we're not going to be that granular, but we want to at least know that you're producing things. And you can knit 10,000 of the same thing if you want. I don't care. It makes no difference.
You want to do pre-me hats for a charity or Mother Bears or
whatever makes you happy. We are just here to help you and dashing some of that stash. So, and we'll have prizes and stuff. More information as we get into it.
And it starts next Thursday.
Yes, because that's...
No, it starts this Thursday. This Friday. It starts this Friday.
Pick a day, Laura.
Because my last day of school is this Thursday. It's Friday. It's this Friday.
So it's the date of the 25th. Is that accurate? 2021,
so.
24th.
Hold on, I'll look up and see when it actually, what I put in the actual post.
And it goes until August 5th, which is my birthday. But
it is. It goes from the 24th to the 5th.
Not because it's my birthday. That's because that's when Laura has to go back to school.
And it's all about me.
Yeah, let's be honest.
It goes from my first day off till my first day back.
So it's basically 2.5 months.
Yep.
Of time to try to knit that much, and that's a lot. And also during that time there will be Tour de Fleece, so you can spin your little heart out and then knit with all that. And you can double dip, triple dip, quadruple, we don't care. You do whatever makes you happy. If you want to do Tour de Fleece at the same time, that's fine. You want to participate in...
You want to do Camp Loopy?
Camp Loopy, or any of the cows for any of the podcasters. Yeah. You do it. That's fine. Do we have anything else we want to talk about before we talk about the SSK thing?
No, I totally got distracted by people's projects. Someone put the Mind the Gap socks up, which are gorgeous,
I love that
in our little side. And then someone also put Star Trek-y, which I need to get my hands on. It's irritating me that I can't find that
anymore. That's a fiber nymph, right?
It is. So I'm going to have to become a better stalker.
Okay.
But both those socks look gorgeous. Anyway.
SSK related. If you are on the wait list, or if you did not get on the wait list but you are interested in coming, we're getting to the point now where we are less than 2 months out to the event, And as we've mentioned repeatedly, life happens and people have to drop out for whatever reason, and that's fine. And we're going to move from emailing people from the wait list, because we're getting so close to it that most of the people that we're emailing, it's a little bit late for them to book travel and, get time off work and what have you. So we're going to do the same thing that we did last year, a little bit differently. So next Wednesday, the 29th of May, at noon Central Time, which will be 1 o'clock Eastern Time for me. I need to remember that's different. We're going to open up a thread in the SSK group, and I've already started this thread, so you can go and read all the details there if you want. Right now, and it may change before next Wednesday, right now we have 2 full spots open and 1 day pass spot open. A full spot is $600, and it includes lodging, meals, a class, a goodie bag, any breakout sessions, tasting room.
It includes breakfast and lunch for meals.
Right, that's correct. I'm sorry. It's the same as any other attendee would get. And we have 2 of those spots right now. That may change by next week. We'll see. And then there's the day pass option, which is $250, which includes the same things that you would get as a full pass, except lodging. So breakfast and lunch, goodie bag, classes, breakout sessions, and all that. You just provide your own lodging. This typically works best for people who live close to Nashville. Or have friends that they want to stay with. The caveat is, right now, for the first 3 days, the first 72 hours that this thread is open, it's for people who are already on the wait list only. We want to give those people first dibs, and it's out there on the Ravelry thread, so everything's public, so we can very clearly see who claimed it at what time. It's fair.
Yep.
We don't want anybody, upset that there was picking and choosing. So it's out there on the Ravelry board. And what we'll do is we'll unlock that thread at that time. If you want one of those spots, you have to reply and say, I want that spot. I want a day pass spot or on a full spot. Again, details will be in the thread. If somehow 72 hours goes by and there are still open spots, then they'll be available to the public starting Saturday at noon. Saturday the 2nd of June at noon. And again, all details are in the SSK thread.
Saturday's the 1st, just FYI.
Okay, you're right, because there's 31 days in May.
I only know that because I'm teaching that day.
You can only claim a spot for yourself. You cannot claim a spot for somebody else. Again, waitlist people get first dibs, and then after that, it'll be open to the public if there are still spots open. And honestly, I expect that we may have to do more than 1 round, because again, things happen. Somebody might have a last minute,
I think last year we had to do 3 or 4.
Yeah, and it was all the way up to 2 weeks before the event. So keep your eye on the SSK group. We will try to announce it at least a week before. I can't guarantee that we will as we get closer. So just keep your eye on the SSK group if you're interested in trying to nab one of those spots. We are sad to see people drop out, but again, they're all valid, completely logical reasons. So we hold no ill will to those people, and we hope that
we hope to see them in the future.
Yeah, and we hope that this allows other people who missed the opportunity maybe can get in. So those spots will go up on May 29th, 12 p.m. Central Time. In the thread that I will sticky it, we'll link it in the show notes as well. If you have any questions, try to ask them before. You can PM me directly. You don't call me Les. I'll be happy to answer any questions that you have. Payments for any of these spots that are grabbed would have to be by the 15th of June, which is basically 2 weeks from the time that you claim it. So keep that in mind when you're interested in claiming a spot.
Yeah, please don't claim a spot if you know you're not going to be able to afford to go.
And it is a lot of money in a short time, so there's not everybody can do that. But we want to make sure that we can give as many people as possible a chance to come. So I think that's all I have. Do you have anything else?
We have a giveaway for this week.
Oh, we do. It's from the Knitting Swede, right?
Knitting Swede.
Yes.
Who's actually from Germany. So this is Knitting Swede, And she actually sent me 2 skeins of yarn. One is for me, one is for y'all. Leslie gets nothing.
I get nothing. That's okay. Seriously? This is like a quarter of it.
So she sent both of her bases, and I want to talk about each. And the one that you guys are going to get to win is this one. Although if you really want this one, we can make some arrangements. So, you know, whoever wins. So she does BFL sock yarn. And this one, the blue one, which is I Dream of the Sea, is 75% superwash BFL and 25% nylon, 425 yards, which is, I love BFL for socks. I think it wears really, really well because it's a longer staple wool. And when you combine that with the nylon, it makes it a little bit softer. And it just, for me, my BFL socks wear really, really well. And then the second base she has is 100% superwash BFL. So again, it's a longer staple wool, totally going to wear awesome. And it is 400 meters, which is like, what, 428 yards? Something like that?
I don't know.
I think it's right around there. And it is A Good Day to Dye, DYE, which I love. And she is the Knitting Swede .co.uk.
Yep.
And so the prompt that she asked us to ask y'all was, these are the 2 bases that she carries in her shop right now. And she's looking, and she only carries, I think right now it's like 8 colors. She's added some new colors recently. And she's looking to add colors and new bases. She's very small. She's just now getting started. She hasn't been around a whole long time. I love her logo, by the way.
That's very clever.
Check that out. So she's asking y'all what you look for in sock yarn bases, but also what you look for in colorways. If there's a certain combination that you prefer, or I really like, it's kind of like a blue overwashed, this one.
Yeah.
Which is very cool. What kind of techniques you look for, that kind of stuff. And I'll start a thread in the Ravelry group. It will be 1 entry per person, must be a member of the Ravelry group to win. We will close the thread Sunday before we record, which is typically around 4 p.m. Eastern. Yeah. Trying to think what else I need to say. You must be awesome to win.
Which I think, you know, as soon as you join the group, you get that automatic.
Yeah, you're pretty much awesome. And that is about it, I think. So thanks for sticking with us, recording on a Monday.
Yeah. And, let's see. How many weeks until you're here and you're recording with me? 2?
I think so. So this coming weekend is Memorial Day weekend in the United States. And I will be going to, because Vicky with no E is the boss of me. And she told me that I should go to Middle Tennessee and she would polish my tiara for me. And hold my train, which goes so well with a t-shirt. So I'm going to go hang out with her, and I'm taking Dingle Daisy with me. Aww. Because I can't be trusted to get places by myself. So Eloise is coming with me, and maybe some other people from, I almost said from the Pittsburgh area. Totly don't live in Pittsburgh.
You really don't. That'd be closer to me,
I've
though.
had for like 10 years now. Awesome. It's been a long week. So I might take some people, other people from Memphis. If you are in the Memphis area and you want to ride along, let me know. We can work something out. So I'm going to Middle Tennessee, which is a 3-hour drive each way on Saturday. And I'm going to meet up with Storied Yarns and Vicky with No E and a bunch of other cool people. And if you're coming, let me know and we can chillax and hang out. I'm really just going to knit and look at spinning fiber.
Okay.
And
the next weekend you're teaching at Vicksburg.
I am. I'm teaching knitting with beads and socks from the toe up with afterthought heels.
And that's on what, the 31st?
It is on the 31st and the 1st.
So what's taking you until the 6th or the 7th to get to me?
I have to go to work.
The hell? It's summer.
So Mississippi is not doing state testing next year like they do the MCT2s, which was a week of my life I can never get back last week. So instead of doing MCT2s next week, whatever you scored this year is going to count. This is such educational jargon stuff. I'm sorry. I apologize for those of you not interested. But anyway, we are going to the Common Core, which is a new brand of testing that is going to be really, really awesome. I'm really excited. It's getting kids to levels where they are more work skill ready. So I think it's going to be an awesome move overall. But we are doing a big Common Core training session the 4th and the 5th of June.
Okay.
So all librarians, English teachers, and special education teachers are highly encouraged to attend.
So you're voluntold to get your butt there.
We're not a union state.
No. Whereas here, everything is union.
Yeah. Like, it's so funny. I love Steve from Dramatic Knits because he'll be like, I'm going to this training this summer and I'm getting paid to go. And I'm like, I've never been in this state where I get paid to go to training. I'm just expected to go because I lived in North Carolina. I taught for 2 years in North Carolina before moving to Mississippi. So, different strokes for different folks. I don't mind going. I think Kelly Gallagher, who's a big educational English person, I think is one of the people going to present. So I'm excited to meet him. It's gonna be cool. It's gonna be cool. So, and then I'm driving to Leslie's the very next day, and I'll probably will be going through, what is that, Knoxville? How do you get to your house?
The one where what's her face has the hotel.
Chattanooga? No, it's Knoxville. So I'll be going through the Knoxville area and probably spending the night. What's her face being Amy? Knitfomaniac.
Knitfomaniac, that's what it was. I was like, I can picture her avatar, but I don't remember her name.
I love Amy.
Yeah, she's very sweet.
Anyway, I'll be going through that area and heading on up on a 20-hour drive to Leslie's. So if you live along that way and would like to meet up for lunch or know any good awesome yarn shops along that way,
because what you need is yarn.
Well, I am staying with you for a good bit of time. I might run out.
You know what's funny is Melissa Meliabella had mentioned this event that I've never been to, and it's called the Massachusetts Sheep and Wool. And it's this weekend. And I was like, you know, I mentioned before I might go, and I was like, oh man, so the guy who I was going to take the on-call phone from him, he was like, yeah, no, I'd rather have my money. And I was like, oh, that's fine, you know, whatever. So I was looking at the Massachusetts Sheep and Wool, and I thought it was a 3-hour drive, and it's a 5-hour drive. So I don't know whether or not I'm going to make it. My friend Sue's is gung-ho to go, so I don't know. We'll see.
If it's the two of you, it'll be pretty awesome.
It's not, yeah, I mean, it's not that. I was just hoping to do it in a day. And if it's a 5-hour drive, I really need to stay the night.
Yeah,
so,
probably.
I don't know.
I think 4.5 is pretty much our limit for day trips.
Yeah, it's just it's too long for because that's 10 hours in the car in one day.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that is a bit long.
Anyhow, I don't know.
You should see if you want. You could combine it with a trip to Webb's, maybe.
That's what Suze was saying. She's like, I think that's pretty close to Webb's. So
you should look and see how far it is, or something else that might be fun that's not yarn related.
We'll see.
There might be some giant cow statue or something.
So this is our viewers' chance to guilt me into going.
Yeah.
Maybe if there's enough folks who are interested in hanging out and saying hello or whatever.
Maybe if someone will shine your tiara.
Leaving that joke way back there. Okay, so
I didn't even think about that joke till after you said that.
I think we're like an hour and a half at this point, so we should probably say goodbye. Thank you guys so much for bearing with our schedule changes, and we will see you again in a week. And until then, y'all have a good one. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.